Oh, the good girl. Oh, there she goes.
Okay.
Okay, she made it. Oh, and she's down.
Sitting on her tail.
Oh, shoot. She's like, what do I do? Where do I go? Oh, I'm gonna get a shoe. Hello, everybody.
Oh, hello, everybody.
You're in your jammies.
Yeah, I am in my jammies. I am ready for the night to be done. I'm going to edit. I'm going to watch a TV show. I'm going to bed.
How did that work out for you yesterday?
Good.
Yeah.
I went to bed by 9.
I know, I was surprised. I got up and I was like, whoa. I was not successful in the sleep.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. I even got up earlier today than usual, and so I should be able to fall asleep pretty good tonight.
It's awesome. Very happy for you.
Are you?
I am. Very jealous, but very happy. Yes, I saw there were some suggestions in the chat on today's video about things to try for sleeping. Melatonin was one. I've tried to take melatonin. It gives me wicked, crazy nightmares. Melatonin has always affected me very negatively, unfortunately. It does help me relax and fall asleep at the beginning, and then I get woken up almost all night with just crazy, very lucid dreaming. It's very, very interesting. I don't know. I think other people have had a similar reaction to it. I don't think that's uncommon per se, but it's unfortunate because I do like the more natural. I don't want to be so heavily reliant on like a sleep product. And then somebody else recommended something called Dream. They said a lot of YouTubers use it or promote it. I did look that up. I'd never heard of it before. So I'll look into that and see if I can research it a little bit.
If it's chamomile, you can't do it.
Nope, I'm allergic to chamomile. So yeah, it's just one of those where I've honestly tried so many different things.
Yeah.
What's worked the best for me, which I might have to get back into, I stopped doing it, was Yoga Nidra. And Yoga Nidra is basically I don't like most meditation things. Most of them kind of annoy me, like when we have to do them for work and things like that. But it's basically thinking about and really concentrating on different points of your body. And so your mind is like focusing in on your fingers, your ring finger, your middle finger, your pointer finger, your thumb, your hand, your arm, your right side, your left side. And I think why that was so effective is because you have to concentrate on it and you're doing a deep breathing at the same time. And it's like the most relaxed I've felt. And I used to listen to that every single night. I think I've contributed to the over 1 million views, or actually 10 million views that this person has, because I think almost for a solid year I listened to it every single night.
That's only 365.
I know, but that's a pretty good contribution. How many people watch the same video over 300 times? Just saying.
Yep.
And I recommended that video to several different people because even your mom, when she was struggling with sleeping as well. But anyway, yeah, so I'll continue to research and try other things, but I've been an insomniac my entire life. This isn't new. It's just something that it's gotten worse, I think, lately with how it's affected me the next day. Like functioning and just not feeling, just feeling exhausted all the time.
Yep. I know how you feel.
Yeah. So, and then a lot of people have been asking for updates on the chicken that we rescued. Had we given the update yesterday, it would have been very different than today, unfortunately. So yesterday, when I tended to her last night before tucking her in for the evening, she was spunky, she was alert, she ate a bunch of food, was drinking, was standing up kind of.
Still a bit of a Rhineck, right?
Not as bad, but yeah.
Still there, but not able to fully support herself yet.
Yeah, but better balance than she had. So last night was very optimistic. When I just went to check on her again this evening after work, because I've been checking on her in the evenings after I get off work, she unfortunately had passed away. So I don't know what happened from last night to tonight. All the food that I'd given her was gone, so she had eaten all the food. She still had water. She was on her heat lamp, but she just didn't make it, unfortunately. So not completely sure why, if she just wasn't strong enough and just not getting enough sustenance in her. But it was very sad because she was a trooper and I really thought she was going to pull through. So that was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's part of it, but, you know, it's like when you rescue them, you hope.
Yeah, you're rooting for them.
Yeah, you're rooting for them.
Otherwise, you wouldn't put effort into it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it was unfortunate, especially because I'd finally gotten the poultry cell in and given her some of that, and was hopeful that I could cure the wry neck. The injury was going to take a while, but I was hoping that I could get the wry neck under control.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think maybe we could have put her in a brooder in here.
Yeah.
But.
And then she would have got a little bit more attention, but you know, it's one of those things where you just, you know, you try your best.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
How was your day, babe?
It was busy.
Same.
Very productive and very busy. Yeah. So started off earlier than usual because Jim was coming over, but we decided to start at 9 instead of 8, which was fine. But there were some things that I needed to do. If you guys remember from yesterday's video, we had to run into town to have our date night at Lowe's last night for 3 items.
Yep.
3 items, 3 really small items, actually 2 items, and then you bought an extra item. I bought an extra item.
No, I didn't.
You didn't buy anything. Anyway, so I had to go back up to the attic this morning and put those items in. They were just cover plates for junction boxes. That's all they were. And so I did that early in the morning. When I woke up, I was not having it. It was not I'm happy to be up, let's get going kind of morning. And it didn't really start that way until I kind of got into the groove after Jim got in. But anyway, did that, and then we finished the first row, and then we got, I think, 4 more rows in. So we're basically halfway up the east side of the ceiling. Tomorrow we'll be finishing, fingers crossed, it tomorrow, finishing the rest of it. Jim had to leave early today because he had a more important, he had a paying client. He had a paying client and one of his regular clients. So I'm like, yeah, you help them.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, no, I know. Yeah, so he left a little bit early today. Not really early, but so we got pretty good amount done. We were both kind of struggling in the morning. Wasn't quite going as smoothly as we wanted it to, but you know, once it got going, it was fine. Once we got that first row in, it was much better. It's always that first row.
That first row.
That first row is really hard.
Rough.
You got to really just, yeah. So I'm stuffing insulation in places that I couldn't fully get when it's just unsupported because it would just fall out basically. So I was stuffing things in, and yeah. So then afterwards, it was about 2:30, 2 o'clock that he left. So then afterwards, I went and took a little walk. No, I didn't. I didn't start with that. I told you yesterday or the day before that I found another net.
Yes.
And you said it was a sheep net. And I'm like, au contraire, it is a chicken net.
And it is a?
So I put that net up. So I put that net up. It's the shorter sheep net. It's the 100-foot instead of the 160-foot sheep net. But I put it up and I electrified it and I put the darn geese in there because I'm sick and tired of those geese wandering around, causing mayhem, running after the dogs.
Since they're laying eggs, it's the only time they're territorial.
Yeah.
And any other time throughout the year, they're totally fine. But right now, they're being little, like you can't get any. And unfortunately, they were laying right next to the RV and right where Levi used to sleep. And so he's been forced to find other areas.
Yes, poor
buddy.
boy. Yeah. Yeah. So I put them around, or put the net around them, electrified it, and then started filling up their pool inside their thing, and then took the dogs for just a roundabout walk.
Sorry, the dogs just took off running.
Oh.
It just caught my eye.
Oh. And so yeah, took the dogs for a walk. Levi was very excited.
Loves his walks.
But he hasn't gotten a walk for 2 days.
I walked him
you
last
walked him
night.
yesterday, but he hasn't gotten the morning walk with his dad and his...
Oh, yeah.
No, it's important.
I know. Routine is important. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being serious. I know it came across a little bit snarky, but it was very serious. Sorry.
It's okay.
You were just looking at me like,
Yeah, no, it's important. It's really important. So, yeah, he was full on energy, and I'm like, Levi, you need to settle down. You're gonna like really make somebody mad, because he was really excited. But so we did that, and then came back. The duck pond. Oh, good Lord, help me out. The geese pond that I was filling up was full.
the pool?
The pool, yeah. And one of the geese had escaped
Oh,
already, despite it being electrified.
Electric, yeah.
But it was the one that I know was laying an egg.
Yeah, so she probably...
Yeah. So I cleaned out one of the dog houses that we have, not the igloo one, but the one that we found in a barn.
Oh, this one that used to be over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I cleaned that thing out. It was gross. Cleaned it out.
Oh, yeah, because they used that to lay last year. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and then I put a bunch of bedding in there, and I moved their eggs in there. So
Nice.
I'm hoping that that'll keep them in there, or at least in that territory, and not be so, because I want them away from the RV. So I did that, and then I went through and dispersed a bunch of feed to all the chickens, and then fed the dogs, and then washed in front of the steps to the RV all the gravel, because geese make a mess. Yep. Tired of that. And then
You took a little resty poo?
I didn't take a rest.
You sat down and rested?
No, I ate 3 slices of pizza and I stretched.
Okay.
That ain't no rest.
That ain't no rest. Laying in bed, stretching.
Well, yeah. And then here we are. So that was it. That was the day.
That was your day.
That was the day.
Yeah, I had a very, very, very busy day at work. Did some interviews for a leadership program that I'm an alumni of. I participated. It was in the class of 2019, so several years ago. And every year we interview for that next class. And so I'm part of 18 interviews this year. And so we've been doing those. I have 4 this week, and today was one of those days. So doing that feedback, and then it's my normal staff day, and another project. I just got put on another project for the team as well, to help communicate some new rollouts that we're doing, some upgrades to our recruiting system within the company. So that's all fun, and it's been a lot of new learnings and just kind of working with a new group of people. And then, excuse you, Kinsley. And then I did dishes today because finally got hot water. Today it actually snowed again. It hadn't snowed it snowed once a week ago, but today it didn't stick.
Just little flurries.
Yeah, but it was really pretty.
It was pretty, yeah.
Watching it all come down, and I was in an interview, and we were like, where are you from and everything, and I was like, well, I live in Tennessee, but it's snowing right now. It was just strange looking out the window, kind of seeing the difference, and some of that fog from last night or the night before rolled in last night, but it wasn't nearly as thick or as heavy. But it was really crazy to see it over the river when we went to town, and we were a little worried, and so we didn't want to stay in town and get dinner because we didn't want the fog to roll in too bad, because it gets real hard to see on these backcountry roads with no lights, and it's a little challenging. So yeah, it was a good day today. Very busy and very cold. It was freezing almost all day long today. But it's better now. That's why the beanie. And
yeah, it was cold today.
It was chilly today.
It was dark, gloomy, and cold today.
Yeah, that doesn't help when it's just like the overcast, and the sun came out finally about like 3:30 or 4, was the first time I saw the sun all day, and it was only out for
Yeah.
like
30 minutes.
if that, like maybe a half hour, and it was so pretty. It was like, oh, everything lightened up, and it's like, oh, and then it went back to gloomy and dreary. Reminds me of Seattle this time of year. Just overcast and little drizzly rain.
Or Portland.
Or Portland, yeah.
The Pacific Northwest in general.
Yep.
The coastal areas.
Yeah, in the winter time.
Or the valley. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not. I've gotten so used to the couple of years that we've lived here, just blue skies so frequently that when it's overcast or really cloudy, it's weird.
Yeah. I think it's over the last couple of years has been really dry. Usually it rains a lot more this time of year. So I remember when we were
Searching
for property, and one of the first times I went over to the haulers, it hadn't rained for weeks, and it was this time of year. And I asked him, I said, does it rain around here? Like, it's so dry. He goes, it used to rain every single day, but now it's like you hardly see it because it rains a lot around here. So I guess it's not normal for it to
be so dry.
Be so dry and warm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think when we did the research, this got about the same amount of rainfall as the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
And there was so many similarities, and that actually was another thing that we liked, same growing climates, very similar precipitation. There was just so many similarities, like the amount of trees, the topography, all of those things. And it was like, oh, it kind of felt like home here, like what we had been used to for years. And then it just seems like it's both places, the weather has changed significantly. Like Portland has gotten way hotter than it ever used to.
Drier and hotter.
And drier. And same here. It's gotten a lot drier and just very different weather. So very interesting how things change over the years.
Yep.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know what's on the plan or the agenda for tomorrow. What is tomorrow, Thursday?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what tomorrow is. It's been one of those weeks.
We're going to finish the ceiling. He's coming over at 9.
Nice.
And then...
So then we'll just have the beam to wrap.
Yep.
So that means you can, while we're waiting for the weather to mellow out again and dry up to clean the boards, you can work on cutting out the electric holes then. Nice.
The lights.
Yeah, the electric holes.
The electric holes, yeah.
That put bulbs in them. Those things. I'm just going to stand here and hold it up. Just do my part. Hey, I'm helpful with other things, and I know other projects.
This is true.
This is not one of them. I know where I add value and where I don't. Where I should just stay away.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's all I got today.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave the trail cams up one more night. I'll collect them tomorrow. And then I think we'll look through it and see if there was anything. Oh, that's what we did last night when we got back. Before we left, I had told Nate when I was going around doing some chores, I was up by the pond and there was 2 hens that got out of their netting, and that's pretty common for that group. They don't have a rooster with them right now because I was letting them heal. We processed the rooster. He was just not a good rooster for many, many reasons. And so we processed him last time, and I had noticed that 2 hens were out with a different rooster and they were hanging out with him. Well, when we got home, I mentioned to Nate, hey, we had 2 hens out before we left. I want to go up and check on them. So he came with me because it was already pitch black out. And I noticed that the rooster was up in his normal place and they weren't with him. So they didn't follow him to his where he roosts at night. And so we were I went first.
You went into the coop.
I went to the coop first and made sure they weren't still there because I knew it was a black one and a black and gold one that were out. I just didn't know which of the 2 black hens it was, but I knew exactly which black and gold one it was. And so I looked and I was like, oh, they're still missing. So we searched and searched and searched in the grass all around and the rocks, couldn't find them. And then Nate found one by a tree. She just sitting duck.
Yeah, just laying down at the base of the tree right next to
where we were.
The net, yeah.
Yeah, but we just couldn't see her.
We found her relatively quick.
Yeah, she wasn't too hard to
Then
spot.
we searched and searched and searched and searched all over. And you were about to give up. And I said, well, just go check the shed.
Yeah.
The plastic kick-it shed that we have up there.
Yeah, that patio well that we have.
Yeah.
And I'm looking in the box, because we had a box in there that sometimes if a girl gets out and she has to lay an egg, they'll go in there and they'll lay an egg, and looking all around. And right as I was getting ready to give up, I happened to be like, well, wait, I didn't check the middle of the floor, and the floor is black. And I shined my light over, and there she is, just in the middle of the floor, just sitting there. And then there was another small little tiny bird that was flying all over that I must have disrupted. And so I grabbed her and was able to get her and put her back.
The hen.
The hen. And then the other bird's like hitting my head as it's flying back and forth. I was like, but that was an adventure last night when we got home, to get those girls put back together. So it just reminded me that I need to go up and check and make sure they got put back in, because that's where the trail cameras are, and that's where we've seen predator activity. So we want to make sure that they get back into their coop at night so that they're safe.
When I went up to do feed, they were in.
Oh, good.
Yeah, there weren't any free ranging except for the free ranging roosters. Roosters that are up there. Actually, no, one of the salmon favreros got out of their netting.
Oh, okay. So they're usually really good about going back in, but I'll go up and I'll double check, because the netting, for whatever reason, there's so many roots up there that a couple of the places where we were able to find good footing to get the posts in the ground was too close together, so it doesn't pull the net tight enough. So when it creates that little bit of looseness, the hens can slip underneath if they want to, and they've figured that out. So some of them like to go out, and they like to be free range. A lot of them do. So we used to, in the summer, we'd rotate them, and the different groups would free range throughout the day, or each day a different group would be able to free range, but we stopped doing that when we started getting some falcon activity up there. So anyway, cool. I was like, I'm out, I'm done. Your alarm's going off or something.
Yeah.
I was like, my phone was ringing, the alarm's going off.
Yep.
Heater kicked on, we're good, we're done.
Good.
We're done. See you later.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.